Hello everyone, it's Lindsay from the Vintage Button, a junk journal store stitch. Do that as sustainably as possible. And it's Junk Journal July and we're on Blue Sky. This would be a really simple one and it can be a really simple one, and I'm going to do it and then we're going to have a chat as I do it about barriers and about clouds in our blue sky, basically, when it comes to thinking of ideas and our creativity and just working out what our barriers are and then giving ourselves some strategies to kind of push those clouds to one side and continue with the blue sky. So, let's do some painting. I've already done a little bit. I want my sky to be really blue. I'm actually looking outside at the sky in my craft room, and the sky is actually quite a pale blue today because it's got a lot of high hazy cloud. But when it's really been warm recently, it's been this sort of wonderful blue colour, and that's kind of what I want. I want sort of, oh yes, some of that. So I'm just going to add on to the ordinary already bit of watercolour that's on. I have no idea what I'm doing with watercolour, like no idea. It's just me beginning to work all this stuff out and what my style is in it and learn how to do it. All I know is I want it darker at the top and a bit paler at the bottom. That's it. And I'm going to probably do a few layers to it. So I'm going to be stopping and starting, but you keep with me because we're going to be talking about those barriers soon. See you in a minute. Okay, I'm back. So, I'm actually quite happy with it. I'm going to pop this down and then I'm going to see if I need to add a little bit more, but with this as well, which I might have to. And we're going to think about those barriers. So, Junk Journal July and Junk Journal January, any sort of like monthly challenge offers us a great sort of scaffolding. Is that a good word? Scaffolding? To hold up our creativity. It kind of gives us structure. There's a challenge a day. Now, we don't encourage you to do it every day. We kind of say do it as and when you need to. And I've got a glue that doesn't work. Do you know what I'm going to do? Because I ain't got enough time for this. I'm going to swap the lid. This is actually quite apt because this is about a barrier. Because the barrier was a glue literally not working and then just finding a really simple solution, not getting worked up about it, not thinking, oh, I need to cancel the video and start it again, which I've already done a few times. That sort of a thing, that when we come across a barrier, we sort of be flexible and think, right, what can I do? What can I do to get over this creative slump? What can I do about the things that stop me from being creative? Is there a way I can use my creativity to bring a solution to the things that stop me from being creative? And I'm going to give you a few examples from my own life as I basically make this very simple picture. So, first of all, it could be I don't have time. So, I think the time one, because the time one can really be a hindrance for me too. Time and energy can really affect me currently where I'm at now, and that's about pacing myself. It's more about pacing, also what my expectations are for myself. So I know that this level of creativity that is public is not sustainable for me. But I know that creativity every day is important to me. So to do this page has taken planning, has taken thought and consideration. To do all of the things has taken like thought, consideration, planning. But I can do it if I know it's only 1 or 2 months a year for that. So it's not at my current, the fact that I have a full-time job, all the things, yada, yada, yada. So I kind of know what my limitations are. And then I try not to let that stop me. Now, sometimes it does. Sometimes I've got a chronic illness, and sometimes my energy is low, and the only creative thing I can do is watch a YouTube video. And that's absolutely fine. So it's not about offering judgment to yourself and saying you should be able to be creative. We don't do that, not at the Vintage Button. And I'm sure that Sandra from Bee Happy would be feeling the same, that that's not what, you know, we want out of Junk Journal July. We want people to find a level of creativity that's different from what they've had before. We want people to be more and more comfortable with their creativity. And we want to challenge, you know, gently challenge and try new things, do new things, reach out, talk to people, kind of all kinds of things we can do to be creative. So expectations of ourselves. Sometimes when we think, oh, I can't, like the watercolour thing. I've wanted to learn how to watercolour. Literally, I went on a short watercolour course with my mum, my sister-in-law and my mother-in-law, and I really enjoyed it. But I walked away thinking I'm not doing that again for lots of reasons. And ever since then, it's like over a decade, I've wanted to learn how to watercolour. And I've just kind of done other things, so I haven't not been creative during that time, but I've just sort of not allowed myself to explore and play with the idea. I also have this thing about like, is it imposter syndrome? It might be a little bit of that I feel like I would be pretending to be something I'm not. And I talk about being an artist because I really do feel like if I express myself in some sort of physical media and I am allowing that media to tell my story, I'm an artist. Like, that is the definition of art. And I still kind of think about, oh, but I'm not a proper one. I'm not a proper one. But it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter that, like, my art's not been in a gallery. There's not, you know, there's not, that doesn't matter. What matters is what I think about it. And that's a big barrier for me. Other barriers could be not having a physical space to create. And I know I've been in a place where I've not had a physical space to create. In fact, the last house we lived in Cambridge was so small. It literally just had 2 bedrooms and then like 1 living area and a kitchen and a bathroom. Like, it was just so tiny, this little house in Cambridge, because housing is ridiculous there. And I had to sort of be creative about how I keep my supplies. So it was kind of, I want red because I like red and blue together. I kind of had to sort of think about where my supplies were and how I used my supplies and how they looked and how they fitted into the space. So actually the green shelves that are on my landing were in my lounge, and it was full of pretty jars and books and things. So it looked really aesthetic. I also had like a similar cabinet to the one that I've got in the bedroom, but it was painted blue. And that was full of stuff. And I always got like, people were curious and they were complimentary about it. But for me, it was a very practical thing that I needed space and I needed to organise myself to create. Now, sometimes that can be a barrier in itself. I can only create if I have a perfect space. I can only create if I have this. I can only create if you have that. And I firmly believe that we can create if we have the very, very limited supplies. In fact, I'm going to give you a sneak peek of a journal that we're going to talk about in August, where I have made this with watercolour paints, a pack of children's crayons, so on the watercolour plate it's really cheap children's grade paint, a biro, a ballpoint pen, some old wool, and just scraps. Like, you could make this out of your recycling. Now, I found a wonderful book for free, so, you know, there are some supplies you need to make effort and go out and find, but the rest was junk mail. And you can make stuff out of nothing. You really can. People have been doing it for millennia, making stuff out of nothing, and we have an abundance of nothing. We have an abundance of rubbish. And that's why I'm quite passionate about junk journaling, really. Because we can make art out of nothing. We can make art out of rubbish. We don't need all the things. It's nice to have all the things. I'll use all the things because I have them. But we don't need them all. So another barrier. What could another barrier be? In fact, you tell me what your barriers are in the comments and we'll chat about it. And it could inspire other videos. It could inspire lives. I'd like to do some lives. We're going to do a live flip through of this at the end of July. That's how I'm going to round off Junk Journal July and be reflective about it. So, you know, we're going to do lives. I think having a blue sky over our creativity is so difficult. There's so many reasons why we can't create. But I think that most of those reasons we can overcome them. And so I would like to help you with that. I would like to help on a really big scale that. Eventually, I would like to help one-to-one on that, but I need some time and some space to think about how that would happen. I think, though, that everyone can be an artist, and I would like to encourage that. And I would like to encourage you in that, really. So here is my very simple blue sky. It's not special. It's not important. It's barely 10 minutes in. Is it 10 minutes? Yeah, well, 11 minutes. And I don't know how the algorithm's going to treat it, but I want to help you get over your boundaries. Not get over your boundaries. You need to set boundaries. Get over your barriers when it comes to your creativity. So, Junk Journal July is fantastic. You have a daily prompt. You have limited supplies. Sometimes it could be you have too many things and you get overwhelmed. Sometimes I feel like that in this room, full of stuff, full of my treasures. So it could be that. It could be that I can't make a junk journal, so I can't make art. Or I can't physically make a junk journal. We'll get around that because that's what... Where is it? Where's it gone? Like, that is so easy. Literally, if you could tie a knot, you can make that journal. So there's all kinds of things that are coming up on the channel where you could start. And you can start badly and then get better as you go. It doesn't matter. Have a sense of play. I hope you are enjoying your book. If you haven't started a book, it's not too late. It doesn't have to be called a Junk Journal July book. You could fold 2 pieces of paper and that would be the beginning of your journal. You don't even have to know how to bind it. Bind it. You can make a start. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're all about not being perfect, making progress over perfection, having a sense of play. So, I hope you will join me. I hope if you've stayed this long, give me a thumbs up. Definitely let me know in the comments what you think about it. It's just touching on this subject of barriers to creativity. And I just want to be there and help, really. I'm not perfect. I'm not even that talented, I don't think. And that's not being false modest. It's just that, I know there's a lot I can learn. And I still think that what I make is valid. We don't have to be perfect. We don't have to be fantastic at what we do. But we do have to give ourselves permission. And we do have to be able to express ourselves. So that's my hope for you, that this is a beginning or it's a part of your journey where you learn and give yourself permission to express yourself. I will have all the details in the description below of all the other amazing creators that are involved in Junk Journal July. Sandra at Bee Happy and her wonderful digital creations that could help you along the way. Can be a great starting point. There's all kinds of things. We'll go into that in more detail of hacks we can do to sort of hack our creativity. I think that's a burgeoning video that's brewing in my brain. Let me know if you want to hear something like that. Let me know if you have questions. Those are really, really helpful. And I will talk to you tomorrow when it's a much more sedate, tiny doodle. Onto a new signature as well, our final signature of the book. Oh, the end is getting close by. All right, everyone. I will talk to you very, very soon. Bye bye.